After years of memes and summoning circles, the day is finally here. I've spent about 67 hours this past week with Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, and I'm ready to share my first impressions and some tips for new players. I'll avoid story spoilers for the many newcomers diving in, but for context, I've played the original PlayStation 1 release, the PSP War of the Lions remaster, tons of mods, plus Tactics Advance, A2 Grim War of the Rift, and even Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wings. So you could say I'm a longtime Ivalice enjoyer. Thanks to Square Enix, I had early access, and I've officially reached Chapter 4 as of last night. I've completed every side quest and errand available so far. As a work-from-home mom of 3 very busy girls, this game has kind of replaced my nightly Balatro session. It's become the perfect handheld unwind time for me, and it still delivers what I think is one of the best stories in the Final Fantasy series. What's nice about this remaster is that you can choose the classic or enhanced version. Classic recreates the 1997 release with the War of the Lions translation. The enhanced version adds a revised script, full voice acting, HD visuals, and a modern UI, plus some very welcome quality of life updates, including a quick unit turn order check, tactical overhead view, fast forward, and adjustable difficulty. I haven't tried the classic mode yet, but I'm impressed by how seamlessly the enhanced version modernizes the experience and still keeps the integrity of the original. There are 3 difficulty settings that can be changed anytime. Squire mode is easier battles, and this is meant for people who just kind of want to experience the story. There's the Knight mode, which is called a balance challenge. This was my pick, and it feels closer to the original. And then there's Tactician, which is the hard mode. I'm hoping to try this out once I beat the base game. Battles are longer than most Final Fantasy games, so that new speed up option is a huge help for grinding job points, aka JP. For veterans of the series who have been concerned, the story path is unchanged, but the voice acting really deepens the drama. If you normally skip optional characters like Mustadio, Agrias, or Thunder God Cid, bring them this time. The enhanced mode sprinkles in extra voice lines during battle that add great flavor. Major battles will highlight your target at the beginning, and defeating that unit ends the fight early. It's a nice shortcut, but you might miss extra dialogue if you rush. The new Chronicle Menu is a lore lover's dream. This includes character bios, timelines, and a clean encyclopedia of Ivalice terms. The State of the Realm tracks story events, much like Final Fantasy XVI's. And you can rewatch key cutscenes, including the gorgeous War of the Lions animated sequences. These are not viewable in the main portion of the game, so I highly recommend seeking them out if you've never seen them before. Some other highlights that can be found on this page is the visual novels. These are choose-your-own-adventure side stories that have never been available in English before. So far, I've only unlocked the Ivalice Chronicles, and there's no voice acting, but it's very charming, though kind of long-winded. The nice thing is, though, that you can stop the story and return to where you are anytime. There's an Auracite page, which is super helpful if it's your first time playing, because it can be hard to keep track of what Auracite exists, who has it, and how they got that. I also highly recommend a stop in Stratagems for Battle. It's an in-game guide that neatly explains jobs, status ailments, weapons, pretty much everything you need to get your bearings. It even covers the often confusing zodiac affinities, even though you can safely ignore the fine print with your first run. Pair this with the Lessons in Leadership section for an even deeper dive into tactics and team building. It's like having a built-in strategy guide right inside the menu. Another thing I highly recommend engaging with is the conversation option. In character menus, make sure to check in with the characters after major events to see their changing thoughts during those key plot points. This kind of reminded me a lot of the Final Fantasy IV Remake's thought bubbles. Random battle prompts now let you choose whether you want to fight or flee, which is great for controlled grinding or poaching. Errands are unlocked in Chapter 2, and they're worth doing for Gil, JP, unique relics, and fun world building. There's a lot of really cool references to the rest of the series that make these worth going through. Be sure to keep some backup units available, since characters on Errands can't join battles until they return. I always like to level a variety of jobs to unlock advanced ones. The new job tree makes prerequisites easy to track. Every character must take actions to learn JP experience. Just a fun little recommendation for those who don't know. JP, or job points, are what you spend to buy new abilities. Every action earns JP for your current job. So for example, if Delita is a monk and he punches Algus in the face, he scores Monk JP, and probably feels pretty good about it. All non-downed allies quietly gain about 25% of JP that anyone else earns for that job, even if they haven't unlocked it yet. So if you want everyone to learn a thief skill like Poach, put a few teammates on Thief and let the Spillover do the work. Stacking everyone in one job can speed the grinding, but half the fun is mixing classes for wild combinations. There's a lot of quality of life to unit management. You can now have up to 50 total units. Be sure to rotate your roster because you'll never know when you'll temporarily lose a key character. If a unit's knocked out, you have 3 turns to revive or end the battle. Permanent death only happens when their 3 heart icon depletes. Also, watch out for chocobo overpopulation. Release them if they clog your barracks. In conclusion, take your time and really experiment. The slower pace invites you to be thoughtful with every move and to discover the wild variety of job combos and strategies. Seeing my favorite Final Fantasy story brought to modern platforms, but for a whole new audience, is genuinely special to me. I can't wait to try and tackle Tactician difficulty once I finish my first playthrough. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles launches September 30th. It's an absolute masterpiece, finally ready for a new generation to explore. Thanks again to Square Enix for letting me experience this early, and here's to hoping you fall in love with Ivalice as much as I have.